All right, so I am about to walk through how to export stems in Ableton so that you can save CPU when you're playing back tracks. Ableton makes it really easy to export individual tracks. The first thing that I like to do when I'm doing this is go through and delete and rename things that I'm not using. So anything where there is nothing happening, you don't need to bounce down because you do not need to bounce down silence. 6 audio has nothing in it, so it's gone. This guy here, 8 audio, I never renamed. This is resampled drums. I'm going to rename this reference track. This particular track is for students, so if they get lost, I'm able to bring in the original track so that they don't get confused. Drums resampling has nothing in it, so it is gone. This also has nothing in it, so I'm going to delete it. This also can be deleted. Trial pad, it was a trial, it's gone. I was using this for a sidechain effect, but I don't need it, and I do need this. Okay, so now we've gotten this down to only the things that we need. I actually want to reactivate these clips here before we bounce. Okay, so now we'll select the section that we need, which is this. And if you hit Command-Shift-R, you're going to get your export audio video. And you'll want to choose all individual tracks. And that's going to do is bounce each track separately. And it's also going to bounce your master, your reverb, and your delay. So if you've got any send effects rocking, you're in business. I do not want MP3, so I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to click export right now, and I will see you back here in just a minute. All right, so these have officially bounced down, and I bounced them to my desktop in a folder called stems, and here they are. Now these are all renamed nicely for us because we went back in and we renamed it what it was called. Now we do not want can't stop stems as the name for every single file that we drag in. So we're going to actually make use of the native renaming function. So if you hit right mouse click, rename, and we want to replace text, find can't stop stems. Now when I hit rename, can't stop stems disappears because I've replaced it with nothing. Now this here that has no name, this is the master bounce down, which I don't need, so it's gone. Okay, we're going to drag these in now, but first I like to shrink these. Now this is a copy of my original file, which I'm not sure if I mentioned. It's always a good idea when you're doing this to work in a copy of your file so you don't lose any of your original stuff. Okay, so I'm going to drag these in. And what you'll notice is that right now it's actually only making one track. If you kind of look towards the right of the screen, you see the second audio file. We don't want that. We want them all in their separate tracks. So if you hit Command, it will make separate audio tracks for each file. So I'm going to let go, and then we're going to let Ableton do its thing analyzing these files. All right. So here we are. I must have had this track muted, so that's a lesson. Make sure all of your tracks are unmuted. I'll go back and grab this later. But for now, here we are, and we have all of our tracks. Now, we no longer need our MIDI tracks because we're working with audio at this point, and we have a copy of them. So if we select these and hit delete, they're gone. I have copies of them elsewhere. Right now, they're just taking up space. Now, the reason that I did this in the same file and not in a different file is because I have all of these markers, and I want to make use of that because I want to have sections and be able to punch in. So this is a bit of a hack situation here, but I like to create a MIDI track, and I like to insert a MIDI clip. And the reason that I do this is because eventually the set that I'm going to build is going to have multiple files in it, and so renaming the master track is actually not going to help me know where the punch in and punch out things are. So we're going to rename this guides. And this is literally just a portable text option that will allow us to know where the heck we are. Now, I like to do this backwards. So there are 13 sections, I believe. Don't want that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 sections. So if you come over to your master here, let's make 14 scenes. Now we're going to work backwards. And we don't need to do anything crazy with consolidating and all of that baloney. If you start at the bottom, hold down Shift, use your up arrows to go all the way to the top, and hit Option Shift to go over, you can select these sections, click, tab, boom. And then you'll go over here to Guides, and we're going to rename this Breakdown. Now again, these are just, the MIDI track there is just so that we know where we are when we move to a different set. Option, Shift, over, click, tab, outro, Option, Shift, left over, click, tab, bass break. So if you're getting the hang of this, this actually goes quite quickly. Option Shift over, pre-chorus 2, Option Shift over, pre-chorus 1. I think you guys are all with me, so I am going to finish this and meet you back here in just a second. All right, there you have it. Now, when you take a look at this, so let's find a track that's got a little more going on. Okay, so here I am. This is the intro. And as I move down from clip to clip, basically what's happening is it's changing the starting point. Sometimes it does this weird thing with zooming. So like, you'll see this guy starts here. If I click this one, this guy starts here. So each of these sections is really just the same clip with a different starting point. And if you move from left to right, you get the same situation on every single track, and that's just a really fast way to do it. Now, I am going to move this into my master set eventually, which is going to have some instruments that I play along with these tracks. So because of that, I select all of these and I group them, and I'm going to rename this Can't Stop the Feeling underscore the time signature underscore the tempo, because I'm not going to have this file to reference in my master set, and I'll need to know. Now, I like to go in here. Now, these are some arranged songs, and same deal. What I've done is I've created these tracks that have song title, key signature, which is a little bit more relevant when you're working for multi-tracks, tempo, and time signature, so that I know always the songs and the sections. But this is a camp song, so I'll go into my camp songs folder, and I'm going to drag this right in. Now when I move this to my next set, I will know that this song is Can't Stop the Feeling, 4/4, 110 beats per minute, and these samples can be just dragged into any live set. And you can move them up and down if you have more scenes, if you have more songs, and then you're in business. You are good to go with your stems in any project. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to Ableton, and especially if you're switching from MainStage, head over to my website at mainstagetoableton.com/go to get your free copy of the Fast Track patch list guide today, which will have you up and running with a MainStage style patch list in Ableton Live. And to stay up to date with all of our latest blog posts, be sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel here.